What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Secret Level podcast. This is actually episode 4 of our podcast. I'm Tom, and I'm joined with Joe.
Hey, everyone.
And Charlie.
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to open up a little bit differently. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. And Joe, you want to start?
Sure. I've actually only been playing like 3 things. I've been playing this really fun game. I'll start with this one because it's on the iPad and the iPhone.
All right.
It's called Super Stickman Golf 2.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I never played the original, and it's basically the best way I could describe it. It's like a set of mini golf courses, and you play as this little stickman, and you aim the ball, you measure your power, and then you hit release, and then you hit the ball, and aim is to get under par.
You hit the ball, and you hit the power, and you hit the release and the power.
Damn kids and your damn scooters.
And your stickman's golf.
It's just really addicting. Like, it's one of those games. Like, every time I pick up my iPad and there's nothing else to do, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna play like 3 or 4 rounds of this. But it's and it gets really hard really fast. Like there's multiple worlds. I'm on like I think hard right now. I know there's a classic and then impossible. And I've seen pictures of impossible. And impossible's just no.
Now, Joe, is this like Angry Birds where you would get to a level and it will actually be impossible to beat without paying for something?
No,
because I've come across that before in a lot of iOS games.
Actually, so far it's not. It is a paid game, so you do pay for it. I think it's $99 or $199.
It breaks the bank.
Well, what's funny is I was kind of hesitant to actually buy it because it was $199, and I know that's a bad mindset, but I ended up getting it. I really enjoy it, and it doesn't force it down your throat. You can purchase these things called, they look like dollars, but they're called something else, and you can unlock power ups and stuff. But you naturally get power ups throughout the game, so it's never an issue of having to buy your way through the game.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it forces that down your throat. Now, if it was free, maybe I could see where they could push it a little more.
I don't think microtransaction in a free game, iOS or console-wise, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Is there a free console game? Really?
Well, free to play is a better
Are there
way
any
to
free-to-play console games?
Whatchamacallit? The game that just came out on that's coming out on PlayStation. I played the beta for it.
Well, there's Dust 514.
Dust 514.
And there's on PS3 there's Dust 514. Also on PS3 there's the DC game, the MMOs.
Marvel Universe or whatever.
Not Marvel. I just said DC.
I don't know.
Just said DC.
Shut up! I meant that.
It's something that will definitely be. It's a system that will definitely be injected into the Nextbox and the PS4. But yeah, this doesn't force it down your throat, and I think that's kind of the reason I like it. But they can easily, if it was free, I could see them easily opening that door and being like, "Oh, this level's so hard, you need to purchase this and purchase that." But they don't force it down your throat. It's a very good iPad game.
Just very high quality.
Yeah,
I've been looking for a good iPad game. I've been playing a lot of Scribblenauts on my iPad.
Okay, yeah, I played that on my Wii U. It was fun on that. It is a fun game. But I've also been playing, thanks to you, Charlie, because Charlie's, if you go on YouTube, you can find 2 of his Let's Plays of it. I've been playing Bit Trip Runner 2.
Yeah.
Something Rhythm of
Bit
Alien.
Trip presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien.
Yeah.
It's like such a wacky title.
I actually beat the game. That game is so much fun.
Yeah, it is a lot. It gets me so fucking pissed.
Oh, I know. It's this is how I could describe it. There would be one level, and it would be so difficult, and I finally beat it. I'm like, yeah. And the entire time I'm playing that level, I'm going to tell myself, I'm stopping after this. I can control myself. And I can't. I can't control myself. I'm like, I beat the level. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the next one. And I get so excited about it. But like, my thing is, like, there would be one level that's really, really hard. And then the very next level, I'll fly through. I'll 100% it. I mean, collect everything. And then the very next level will be really hard again. And it just infuriates me. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually good at this now. And it's like, no, you're not.
They throw another mechanic at you, like slide jumping or slide kicking, and then they throw that, and then in the next second you got to get up and block a fucking one of those little flying blocks at you.
It's like every endless runner. It starts out easy, and it just gets.
They pile shit on you.
Into hell.
Yeah. Like after the 3rd world, they stop introducing stuff to you.
Okay.
But then they just start mixing it up in different variations.
All right.
But it is very fun and addictive. Like, I kept wanting to play Gears, and I just had to stop because I was like, Bit Trip Runner 2, go. It's awesome.
It's awesome. And what was the 3rd thing you said you were playing?
Gears of War. But we're going to talk about that more later.
Yeah.
So,
here, Tom, what have you been playing?
I recently just started playing through Tomb Raider again on hard mode.
Why that game's bad?
Joe.
Joe.
No. My original plan was to go back to all the areas on my just normal game, which I'd beaten the campaign, but I wanted to go back and collect everything. But that's only fun to an extent. I think a lot of the real fun from that game comes not only from the exploring, but also, experiencing the story as you're doing that. So I wanted to go back and experience that again, but this time on a harder difficulty.
Now, wouldn't it have been cool, though, if they added a New Game Plus mode?
That's what me and Tom were talking about today.
Exactly.
Where you could have played back again on normal, but from the beginning have the opportunity to collect 100% of the
I would have loved to have played through with all my stuff, like all my upgraded weapons.
I can't comprehend why it wouldn't be, why that game seems perfect for a New Game Plus mode and it's not in there.
And like people might throw the excuse like, oh well, then you would have destroyed the enemies. Then make the enemies maybe a little more difficult.
Scale the difficulty.
Exactly, like Arkham City, I think did New Game Plus perfectly.
Yeah, that's definitely a good comparison.
I've also been playing a lot of Skyrim. I got back into that after kind of a long hiatus, and really enjoying it. Just like I'll start to play that game, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna play for maybe like a half hour before I go, and I'll play for like 4 hours straight. It's ridiculous. That game is just so good, but I'm just preaching to the choir. Choir here. Everyone knows that Skyrim is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's doubting that fact.
Exactly, but there's so many like I'll be walking somewhere that I've like been a million times in Skyrim, and I'll notice something like a cave, and I'll go in, and the cave will just be somewhere I've never been. Like I went into this one like underground area that opens up into this huge like underground city, and there's like these mushrooms that look like giant glowing jellyfish hanging down from the walls of the cave, and
I've never
it's
even heard
so
of that
cool
before.
looking.
That's cool.
It's like underneath one of the dwarven cities.
Now, did you get the DLC?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering what you thought of like because I know what's the last one? Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Hearthfire?
No, not that. That's the house one.
Hearthfire was the second one.
Still DLC.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like actual story content.
Still DLC.
Because I was wondering what your opinions on with that, but never mind. I know it's on sale starting this Tuesday.
I'm going to give it a try once I get a job. Hard to buy DLC when you're unemployed.
Good point. No, I guess.
Good point.
Okay, I guess you win, Mister. Shut up.
All right, Charlie, what have you been playing?
I have been playing ODST custom games with some friends that came over the other day, and we were playing.
That explains so much. I almost texted you, and I was like, hey, he's probably doing something else.
Yeah, we were playing this racing map, and it's a challenge course, and I've done it a zillion times, and it was just so funny to watch them screw up constantly, and that was my favorite thing about Halo 3, why it's the best Forge mode, because it's not the best that Forge mode could be, it's the best that I think Forge mode is, because the customization is so simple. Whereas like in Reach and 4, it was like so complicated. There's so many settings, so many buttons to push, so many settings to flip on and off, and it was so much easier to like get the things that you wanted done. I know it's a lot easier to snap objects together in 4, and I love that. But I loved in 3 where it was so simple to make these maps fun and throw Slayer on it and it'll work instead of like making the map for this game type and then putting this area here and there and there. It was really complicated.
Well, did you hear that there's actually a free
Forge Island?
Yeah.
I actually watched that this morning. I watched the trailer for that this morning.
I haven't seen the trailer for it. Yeah, I just saw it.
It's like one huge island, one really small island, and one like medium-sized island, just in this giant ocean.
That's something that's one thing. Like before I fell in love with the Halo story, because you forced me to play 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, I did.
I owned 3, but I played the campaign, but I didn't know what was going on, so it didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
But the custom games is why I loved it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really into the multiplayer, but the custom games, like me and my friends would play, and there was a few. Did you ever play Sacrifice on Lava Pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That game is amazing.
And did you ever play Old People on Scooters?
Yes.
Wait, what is it?
Old People on Scooters. It's on the sand map. It wasn't a Forge.
Sandbox.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Sand Trap.
Sand Trap. It was on Sand Trap, and the one player was invisible, super speed, super strength, and had the gravity.
It was
hammer.
an infection game type or Juggernaut.
I
One
think
of the
infection.
two.
Maybe something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But and then the rest of the team moved at like a reduced rate, but then spawned like 2 feet away from scooters, and the guy spawned on the other side of the map, so you could get onto the scooters.
Scooters? You mean like were they warthogs
mongooses,
or
mongooses?
Okay.
So the mongooses were like
Mongoose.
super fast, like compared to, and then it was like you couldn't be destroyed, so they'd smack you, and you could go flying across the map. It was
It was oodles of
so
fun.
much fun.
Yeah.
What's one I played actually briefly? Rocket Baseball?
I actually never played that.
No.
Rocket Race?
I played Rocket Race.
Yeah, we play Rocket Race all the
one.
time.
Oh, goddamn. No, it wasn't Rocket Baseball. We called it Spartan Baseball.
Okay.
Me and my cousin did it. And what would happen is there was one map in Halo 3 that had like these launchers on either side.
Yep.
And we would stand on the other side of the launchers with gravity hammers. And as we were launching like towards each other, we hit each other with the gravity hammers.
It sounds like fun.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
I made this one game type, and it was completely my own invention. To me it was. It probably somebody else has probably done it, and I was gonna call the name type like ass or something, but every time you would write something in curse, Bungie would they would cross it out and they'd replace it with blam. So the game type eventually just became blam. Then the map was called blam, and the game type was like blam tastiphasm or something. And all you do in this is you have super speed, zero gravity, unlimited grenades of all kinds, and a sword and a hammer. And it's chaos. It's in
super speed and 0G in Halo.
yeah,
Is so much fun.
It's one of the best things, and it reminded me of like playing baseball with plasma grenades, but it was with that fire grenades and sticky grenades and spike grenades, and also you have a hammer and a sword. And it was on a Foundry. It was a blank canvas map, and there was nothing there. You just run around, and you beat the shit out of each other. It's a really good time in Halo 3.
Yeah, Halo 3 custom games was probably the best, like the most time I played in custom games. Because they had it in Reach, they had it in 4, but
it wasn't as pure. It was like there's so much shit to customize, and it got too much.
Like they kind of like kept it to the fundamental, like maybe add the snap lock and everything.
That would have been cool. But I think they had Forge mode down to a science, and then they turned that science into like.
I liked Forge mode in Halo Reach.
Speaking of Halo Reach comes out.
Yeah.
I got this kick I beat Halo Reach. It was like 2 weeks after, and I get this urge to play Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to play Headquarters on Shipment.
Uh-huh.
So if you remember in Halo Reach's Forge map, there was that little like blocked off area. Well, it was open, but you could potentially block it off.
Yeah.
And it was like really small.
Mm-hmm.
I like sat there for like a day in school with like on my little shitty phone at the time, like looking at a picture of Shipment and like mapping it out, like trying to because like the night before in Halo Reach, I had mapped out like how big the room was and how many items can fit in there.
Yeah.
And like I got it. I was so happy. I got it perfect for Shipment. It was a shipment from Call of Duty. And the reason I was so determined to make this was I went onto like the playlist to find a shipment map, and people make them, and I'm like, all right. So I downloaded a bunch. All of them
were awful.
Warped it.
All of them were bad.
Like they added
warped it.
They added like gravity jumpers and teleporter. I'm like, shipment has to be pure.
They didn't go to the Joe Lap level of detail.
So I made this map, and I was so proud of it. And then I'm not really good at Halo custom games and maps, so I kind of forgot to save it. So it got deleted, and I was like, wasn't worth it.
The story of Joe's life. Oh, crap, I deleted it.
It's all right, Joe. I'm terrible at games that have like deep customization options. Like I'm really bad at making maps in Forge. Infamous 2, the
oh god, yeah,
the user generated content. I could not make a mission. I couldn't even make a level in Little Big Planet.
No, in those types of games, I rely on what other people make.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and if it's like, oh, this is 5 stars, this is the best one, or I like find someone that tweets it out or something, and they'll be like, all right, that's the one. Like in Sound Shapes, that game that came out when I had a Vita. If you have a Vita, that's probably the best downloadable game out there. It's Sound Shapes, a little music rhythm game.
You're talking about a game?
Yeah.
A good game?
Yeah, it's an actual good game.
On the Vita?
Yes.
A good game on the Vita?
It's also on PS3, so if you have a PS3, you can also buy it on that. But it was, I say that a lot. I'm going to try and stop. Anyways, so in Sound Shapes, the main point, one of the crutches after you beat the campaign is that you can make your custom levels. And someone made this long, beautiful, like no word story of Shadow of the Colossus.
That's so
really
cool.
Funny.
You went through like the beginning, you fought the first Colossus, you went through the fields, you fought the second Colossus. Well, you go down to the like dirt area. You actually go down in the level, and then you fight like the second Colossus. You fight all 16 or 17 of them, and then at the end, you somehow warped it like in the game to make it feel like if you remember the end of Shadow Colossus, you're tapping the button to save yourself. well, they kind of manipulated that. Like they did it somehow. I don't know how. And actually, Shuhei Yoshida, who's the president of
He almost
Sony.
called him Yoshi.
Yeah,
Yoshi
no.
Yoshida.
Because his Twitter's name is like Yosop
Or whatever, yeah.
Anyways, but he tweeted it out, and it was just really, it's a really cool level, and like I would never have any integrity, or that's not the right word, intention, or like, what is it when you keep your mind focused? Whatever. I would never have the focus to
the ability, the
desire.
Desire. I would never have the desire or
drive.
drive to sit there and make an awesome level. But I would certainly appreciate.
I would certainly appreciate if somebody did it for free.
Exactly. Same with me. It's like Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet 2, more specifically. I would play a lot of the user-created levels. And some of them, there were like a million shark attack levels where you're just on a platform and you have to swim to another platform and there's like sharks in the water. There's like 1,000 of those. But I did find one level that it's basically like at Alice in Wonderland, but it retells it in like such a moody and atmospheric way. Like it shows you like diving down into Wonderland, and the levels, the lighting is amazing. Like it moves. It's just one of the coolest user created levels I've ever seen.
How does this happen in Little Big Planet? How
you
can
have to get really freaking good with the
they-
creation tools.
Think about this on the PS Vita version. I played a racing game in there.
Yeah.
I played a first person shooter, and you could download fully blown RPGs that people make in these games.
How?
I don't know, but you're able to do it. Like,
That's really cool. I never give Little Big Planet any credit, and I hate it because I think it looks stupid, and I'm immature like that. But these stories sound like it's an incredible tool.
I'm not a big PS3 fan. I mean,
No, that's a lie, Joe.
That's a huge lie.
I'm not a big Little Big Planet fan. I don't like 1. I don't like 2 that much. But the Vita version was perfect. To me, like that was the way to play Little Big Planet, because it was the touchscreen controls actually made sense, and it was a really well done game. But that's the first game I tried the custom levels in, and the fact like I played a first person shooter that wasn't awful was pretty cool.
I got both 1 and 2 for free. I got 1 when the PlayStation Network went down and they gave away like 3 free games.
That's when I got 1.
Yeah, so I downloaded 1 then. And then when I was a PlayStation Plus member, they had 2 available as a free download. I downloaded 2. And I played both the games. I will say, like, there's really nothing about Little Big Planet that blows me away except the user-created levels. Like, that's all I would do. I wouldn't even touch the story mode. I would just sit there and play user-created levels for hours. Because there were some really, really good ones.
So, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
I also wanted to mention, because we never talked about it on the show, but I did get it, Crysis 3.
How is it?
That game is really good.
It's no surprise. Crysis 2. I loved that game when that came out.
You got really into that game.
Yeah.
I never played Crysis 1 or 2. I found a glitch in GameStop system and got Crysis 3 for $20 new. And I brought it home, and I found out you could play the single player on hardest difficulty fully stealthily. So, of course, I wanted to test this out because a lot of games promise that, and you're never able to do it. You can do that in this game. And even when you fight the 2 bosses in the game, you're not underpowered, like, to fight them. Like, I relied on bows and invisibility and slow moving the entire game, and I got through the entire game like that. And then when I got to the bosses, I was able to still fight them, and I didn't feel weaker or underpowered compared to what they were able to do to me. I really appreciated the fact that I love Deus Ex. I absolutely love it. It is a game that like Crysis 3, you can easily go in guns blazing or stealth, and that's something I don't think they bragged about as much as they should have, because you literally can do that. In Deus Ex, that was something they said, oh, you can either play through it stealthily, which I did twice, or you can try and play through it actiony, which I attempted, and you can't. It's just it's not fundamentally it's not a good first person shooter, so they're not able to pull that off. And like even Dishonored does it to a point very well.
Dishonored definitely like pulls you more towards a stealth style,
it rewards
even if you
more.
want to play action.
Yeah, and like even when you start killing, you just find yourself swarmed.
I know exactly what you're talking about with Crysis, though. That's one of the great things about that series. That's what I loved about the second was just the freedom of play you had, like being able to go about a situation however you wanted to. And that's something that Far Cry 3 also does really well when it comes to giving you those options.
Far Cry 3, the same thing though, like in Far Cry 3, like when I was playing stealthily, if I got caught, I felt like I was underpowered. Like I felt like, all right, I'm caught, I'm just going to die, I'm going to restart. In this game, like I said, I didn't feel that at all. It's a very well made game. I tried the multiplayer. I'm bad at it. So.
Hunter mode is awesome. I played it in the beta. It's the one where
I actually didn't play that
you're
one.
the
I know what you're talking
soldiers
about,
and
though.
you crash and there's like 5 guys in a nano suit who are like hunting you. It gets really intense. It actually gets scary. I remember in the beta there was a moment where I was a Marine and I was hiding in like this little duct and like I saw like the cloaked foot next to the duct. So I was shooting at it and there was a hole underneath the duct and one of the nanosuit guys came up from behind me, like jumped through the hole and did a stealth kill on me.
That's funny.
It gets really intense.
That mode sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a cool mode.
Jump back to the single player, because you just mentioned the stealth kill, and that's something you take advantage of. They added this. Now, tell me if this was in Crisis 2. You can spot your enemies.
Yeah.
You can see,
You can mark them, right?
You can mark them all.
You can also mark like ammo and stuff that's in the field.
You can mark guns. You can mark things you can hack. There's even eventually you run into aliens that you can hack.
Oh, there was no like hackable stuff in Crisis 2.
Oh, so you can like hack an enemy and will shut itself down. What?
Who's gonna start?
Okay, so the reason I said what was because Tom was staring at a centipede on the floor.
And we almost died.
Yeah, we didn't know what
It almost killed us. Our
from a
lives were
distance, we
in
couldn't
danger.
tell what it was. So now it's dead. So we
can carry on now.
we can continue with this episode.
We're not in any danger.
But yes, you could hack these enemies and bring them down, and there's like surveillance enemies and these.
That's
like,
cool.
It's just a really cool game. If you could find it, I don't know if you're only into it for the single player, which I'm assuming if you didn't buy it, you probably are. It's at $40 right now. Normally at the store, I mean, I'd say that's a good price for it. I think it's worth $40. Definitely if you're someone who wants to play through the game stealthily, I think it's definitely worth the purchase.
Oh, I think the game looks really good. It's definitely something I want to play, but I'm thinking I might wait till it's been out for a while.
It's gonna just tank in price ridiculously quickly.
I would like to play Crisis in the form of some sort of collector, like all 3-in-1 box edition. That's the only time I'll probably ever pick it up.
I said this before. With the next gen consoles, because Crisis is meant to be played on like a powerful PC. So with the next gen consoles, what they should do is like release the Crisis trilogy, but like have it on the level that Crisis should be at, not the dumbed down console
bumped up
version.
specs.
Yeah, and that's one more thing. It doesn't look bad either.
No, I'm sure it doesn't. But it doesn't look as good as it could.
There's a difference in it clearly, but it's still one of the. I feel like I'm saying that with every game that comes out this year.
What?
It's one of the best looking games that I've seen on a console.
Well, yeah, Tomb Raider, God of War,
Gears of War, and Dead Space 3 was really good looking.
And like I said, this is what we're gonna start with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
And real quick, I just want to jump this. It's free for PlayStation Plus right now.
Crisis 3?
No, not Crisis 3.
Oh, that's that'd be amazing.
Oh my god, oh my god. It's the game
Where
Spec Ops: The Line
came
out. And last episode we talked about uncomfortable feelings like you were talking about with the abuse of women. There was a part, I'm just going to say this real quick. In the game, you actually kill American soldiers.
No.
But it feels weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I bet it does.
It's definitely one of those things, like, once you realize, oh my god, like, these are American soldiers, it made me feel odd. Like, it put that in my mind, like, I'm actually doing this. And that's really all I have to say about Spec Ops. Otherwise, it's a very generic game.
So you kill Americans, and that's it.
I heard that best thing about that game is the story.
Yeah. So that's what we've been playing. Next segment, we're going to be talking about Gears, which is something we all played a lot of.
We all played a lot of Gears.
We'll be right back
a lot.
after the break.
The sea of cowards is what is feeding you. Days of old are haunting me, and I see you there. I fight the urge to look away, but death is swarming. It's all around.
All right, everyone, and we're back. And this time we're going to be talking about Gears of War Judgment.
Gears of War
Judgment. Gears, everybody. We're talking about Gears of War.
God damn it, Joe.
No, what I done did is I done drank that Mountain Dew and I done gave myself the double XP.
This isn't fucking Halo 4.
But if you buy the season pass, you get the double XP.
Yeah, you get lifetime double XP.
Yeah, which actually, well,
This is pretty interesting season
fun
pass.
fact, you can't play in normal game lists, though. You have to play in a separate game list only for those people.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's kind of weird.
I kind of like that they did that though. So you're like when you're actually playing, you're playing fairly, not against people who paid to level
Well, you'll
up.
still have that same high rank. You'll still rank up fast.
Yeah, so but like then I can go and play with you in the regular playlist, but people see me level 40 while you're like level 15 or something like that.
Because I'm just that much more swag than you.
Yeah, I guess.
Probably.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we played a lot of Gears of
we
War.
played for what was it? Like
From
about
1 to 7? I think we made it
1 to
played
6.
1 to
1 to
6.
6.
So we played for 5 hours, took a break, and went back to it at 4:30 p.m.
that day.
And beat it around 6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty lengthy campaign, and it's fun.
That's like the main thing. Like
It was a lot of fun.
I think it's safe to say all three of us going into it were kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't until the reviews the night before that really got me excited to play this game.
It actually for me it wasn't until I actually played it that I was
That
like,
really hit
okay,
home.
this is really good. What they did is they changed it to the point where it's still you can still take cover, but like that's not what you're supposed to do anymore in Judgment. Like the enemies are much more aggressive. They'll come at you. They'll flank you.
You
It's
can't
like-
just stay in cover. You really
Yeah.
have to get out and fight.
Yeah, you have to be out in the open. It's like they went into the game, like the enemy AI, and they're like, okay, take out the part that makes the enemies get into cover and just have them charge at you.
Yeah.
It's really intense, and it's a lot of fun.
And they actually changed up the single player like altogether. Like the other original 3 kind of was like walk, 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 shoot, 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 set piece, shoot, 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 set piece,
Yeah.
end of the level. Walk, 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 shoot, 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 set piece, shoot, 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 end of the
This
level.
one was more like shoot, walk, shoot, walk, shoot, walk, shoot, walk.
Yeah, there was very
shoot,
little
more
walking,
walk.
and there really wasn't that many set pieces.
Yeah, there wasn't at all, I don't think.
And it kind of, I feel like it kind of benefited from that because it wasn't trying to be what the original 3 were.
No.
It was doing its own thing.
For me, it was like if they took Horde mode and turned that into a campaign.
Yeah, they made
That's
it
what
more.
it felt
They made
like.
it more arcadey with that too, because that's really what
It's
it was.
fun.
And
It's
it worked really well with the way that they were throwing waves of enemies at you.
It was a lot of fun, like setting up a perimeter and defending your area against waves after wave of locusts. It was really well done.
And it makes sense in the story too, because when you think about it, they're just fighting this war, so there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
There's a
they're
lot
like-
of them
they're
coming
in
at
a
you.
city that's being invaded.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like sneaking around.
So the kind of aspect of, oh my god, we need to hold up here and defend and fortify kind of makes sense for the
not
game.
like they're on the attack or they're on the sneaking. It's like they are being attacked, and anywhere they go, there's enemies.
It's funny, actually. I'm going back and I'm playing the first Gears right now, which still holds up very well. And just because we played Judgment for so long, I went in and tried to play it like I would play Judgment, not really
like
thinking.
pushing Y to change your
Play-
weapons instead of the D-pad.
No, not only that, but like staying out of cover. And I was playing on the same difficulty. We play on hardcore, and I'm playing on hardcore on the first Gears again. I got killed within 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I
you
was out
gotta
of
take cover. Yeah.
It does not like they changed it up, but they changed it up for the better. Like I like this style, and I think if they were to continue with this style, I wouldn't want it to be featured in the numbered series like Gears of War 4 potentially. I'd want it to be like in another spin-off, like Judgment 2.
I really think this showed Epic that, because just so everyone knows, not Judgment, People Can Fly, the creators of Bulletstorm, was bought by Epic Games. Epic Games had People Can Fly make the single player, while Epic made the multiplayer. I feel like this is a partnership that can work out for them.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they proved
definitely.
themselves.
I think People Can Fly can show that we can handle a Gears campaign. I think maybe Epic should step in with maybe more if they want to go back with like the story and continuing it. I think they should bring something like that in, because the Bulletstorm story and this were on the weaker side. But I feel
It's funny though, like in the single player, you could definitely see like just because of the craziness of Bulletstorm, you could definitely see People Can Fly's like stamp
yeah, you
on
can
it.
see
Like,
aspects of it.
yeah.
Like if they could have had the word "dick tits" in it, they easily
They
would have
probably
thrown
would
that
have.
in there as a line. Like dick, like to have Bear just go like "eat dick tits" or something like that, and then they would have, but they can't because it doesn't fit.
yeah, not at all.
No. But I feel like they've shown themselves, so Epic doesn't have to worry about focusing
Yeah.
on this.
Exactly. They can move on to things like Fortnite. By the way, what's happening with
Oh,
Fortnite?
I'm obsessed with Fortnite. I think the idea of this game is crazy. I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Thank you. This is when we first saw it. You're like, well, I don't. This isn't Gear. I don't know what this
Yeah,
is. It's not on Xbox.
I've been watching that one trailer. I'm like, oh my god, this looks really, really
now
awesome.
you're excited for it.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
I can't wait.
When's the approximately release date?
No, there's no times or anything.
No, it's only PC right now, right?
I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I think it
sure.
might come out on the next
That's what I was
generation
about to ask.
Xbox.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, do you guys think we'll
It's
make
probably
going
going to be on PS4 and Xbox.
you don't think they just didn't announce it because
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll announce it as a PC Xbox 360 exclusive.
That'd be cool.
I wouldn't be surprised of that because of Epic and
their relationship.
Microsoft's relationship.
However, I don't see Fortnite becoming like Microsoft's next huge.
No, but it would
franchise.
still be
very
a
well
great.
could.
It'd still be a great Windows
Yeah.
360 game.
Yeah, where
Like,
you can get the achievements
It's
online.
exclusive.
and-
It's exclusive to Microsoft, even if it is PC and Xbox, because PC is Windows.
Exactly.
like Alan Wake or Bioshock. Like,
Yeah.
they're all like they kept it on. So people are like, oh, it's an Xbox exclusive. Then you had the internet or PC people going like, well, actually, it's not. And then you had these smart people going like, well,
yeah,
Microsoft
PC is Windows.
makes
It's a
Windows.
Microsoft exclusive.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
That's
well,
what
what
they
about
should
Mac?
stamp
And people
on
are
the
just like,
box
get out
instead
here.
of Xbox exclusive.
Well, they stopped marking the boxes now. If you remember, like if you look at Judgment, it doesn't say.
It just has 360 on the top, and then that's it.
I like those stamps.
It's-
I'm gonna
and
be
then it has the
honest.
little swirly green
yeah.
part.
Like
with-
I remember when I got Gears of War back in 2006.
It said
and I
only
would
for-
look,
it
yeah, I
had
would look
the-
at the box and just be like, "Fuck yeah, only for Xbox."
Man, it's a really awesome game. Like it's something that's really cool. And
It fits well into the series.
It's a cool experiment, and it went well.
It didn't go the way of Ascension, where it was completely unnecessary and it made the story uncohesive.
like Charlie just said it last week. I said God of War. The one word was ascension. I mean, well, one word I would describe ascension was unnecessary.
You weren't wrong.
And like this game doesn't feel unnecessary. Sure, the
Exactly.
story's not really strong.
It doesn't have to be though, because
Yeah.
the gameplay more than makes up for it.
Exactly, and the gameplay in God of War is old.
Thank you.
Like it's an old.
That's
like,
what I've been saying.
They
Thank
need
you.
they need in God of War they need to update it, and in Gears of War they updated it. Like that's the main difference between Gears of War and God of War with these prequels.
I think putting a new set of eyes behind what was already a fantastic set of mechanics for a shooter like Gears of War really was for the better.
Exactly. They changed it up, but they didn't change it up to the point where it didn't feel like Gears.
See, the best now. I'm gonna jump into God of War real quick, and it's something they changed that actually makes it better. One thing I'm kind of tired of in games, and I know a friend of ours goes, it's the God of War staple, and that's why
QuickTime events?
QuickTime events. They're really like some of them are really cool, but I think the best things that God of War did with that was it was QuickTime events, but you weren't told to hit the button. Like you knew you were supposed to attack, and then dodge, and then attack.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like
actually.
it wasn't set up like square, triangle, square, circle. That you did it naturally, and then you dodged. I don't know why I actually dodged my head, and then you keep attacking, and then you dodge again, and then you kill it. But it's like it's not force feeding you like, oh, you gotta do it. It's just like all of God of War felt old. Gears of War felt new. That's
you
what I
say
like
God
about
of War
it.
4?
No, God of War felt old.
Oh, I thought you said God of War
No.
4.
And Gears of War felt new, and I think that's what surprised me with Gears of War is I was
It
going
didn't feel
in.
tired.
I was going and expecting, Gears of War 3.5. That's
Yeah.
what I was expecting, but it completely blew my expectations out of the water.
Yeah, it was just a really cool game, and I actually have. We all shared a copy.
Mm-hmm.
We actually bought two
It's
copies
the
between the
first
three of us.
official game of the secret level vault.
Yeah, and so I borrowed it first to play the multiplayer. I that night I fell in love with it. Ended up buying my own copy.
Hopefully I'll receive it tonight.
Yeah, and it's just I fell in love with the multiplayer. The multiplayer is just so well made.
Joe also has the giveaway copy, so Joe has 3 copies of this game at his
I
house.
have 3 copies sitting on my shelf. I'm just like, oh my god, no one should own this many copies of Gears of War Judgment.
Or
But
maybe
it-
they should.
Or it is that good, so maybe, if you have 3 Xboxes in one house.
I
it might be
liked it. I
convenient.
really liked it. However, it's not a game I'd buy.
See, I find myself
Like myself, like I buy it with you guys. But that's what's good about it being a vault game, because we can buy, games that we wouldn't normally buy.
I'm not a multiplayer guy, I say that now, but I forget that back in the day, when I say that, I mean like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Last big game I played multiplayer consistently was Bad Company 2,
Yeah.
and that game was phenomenal. But I forget. It wasn't because I was bad at multiplayer games that I stopped. It's because I would get so angry, and like that's the part I didn't like. I didn't like getting angry all the time.
Welcome to Gears of War.
Oh, yeah. I get off on that anger. It's like,
I know how you feel though, because I always feel like when I'm playing a multiplayer game like Halo, I always feel like the person that kills me is just like they could be the nicest guy
they're
ever,
cheating.
but I feel like
They're
they're either
constantly
cheating or they're just like the smuggest asshole ever. Like, oh,
it's like-
haha, fuck you, you're
They were
dead.
born to kill you in Gears of War.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my god, you killed me. I hope your mom dies. Like it's stuff that goes. It's just like just kill yourself. It's like he's like a born again Christian. It's like, no, go kill yourself.
But it's funny, you know, like I'll do the campaign. I'll do the same thing when I'm playing a campaign for a game. Like if like Rising is a perfect example because Rising had a cool combat system, but like a really weird parry system.
Yeah.
And I'd get my ass kicked, and I just like start yelling at my TV and like throwing my controller. Especially the first time I tried to fight Monsoon.
Oh, definitely. That's when I quit and put the game on easy. On easy mode, it actually kind of parries for you.
Unfortunately, you can't do that on live multiplayer.
No, you can't.
Auto roll.
But like the weird thing, this multiplayer is kind of weird. Sorry, I have an itch on my head. Compared to like old multiplayers, there's only 4 modes. There's team deathmatch, free for all, domination, which is kind of like a King of the Hill, Ascent, a headquarters type mashup thrown together.
Which is what I did to your mother last night, Joe.
That makes no
Ah,
sense.
Trebek.
Anyways, Tom, don't talk anymore. There's also Overrun. Overrun's probably the most interesting, but I feel you need to have a team of friends. Overrun's when you play as the cog, and then next round you play as the locust, and you play as the cog, and you play as the locust. It kind of mashup of horde and beast mode thrown together.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. You definitely need to have friends as a group playing because it's more about teamwork. Then even team deathmatch isn't really about teamwork as much. It's kind of
You don't need to cooperate.
You just
with
happen
them.
to
You just have
piggyback off your
They
teammates.
they took out the locust versus human like normal deathmatch, right?
So
Yeah.
now it's all human versus humans.
All human versus human.
Really?
Yeah. Some people, to me, that didn't even click in my head at all until someone said it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they used to do that. I just felt like playing it. Like to me, this feels like such a well-made multiplayer, and like such a well-crafted thing that it didn't even like click like some like no more downing. You just die.
I still don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like it's something when like for someone like you, maybe it's when you play it, you'll be like, okay.
I had such great times playing the first 3 games. Well, the first and second one more so than the third one, but there's like this formula where like if you had ruined it with Halo, like I'm trying to think of a good example to throw into Halo. It's like whatever, it like getting rid of the fact that you kill the locust is like that's like why would you do that?
An overshield in Halo?
Exactly, like taking out the overshields in Halo, or like renting a game from Blockbuster and giving it to your friend for his birthday. Quoting Tom on that one. It feels wrong. It just I couldn't, and like
Charlie,
the fact that you mentioned that when you
right.
you mentioned the fact that when you kill somebody they don't go down anymore. Like that's like wrong. That's like taking out the overshields in Halo. It's like you don't do
But I
that.
think this benefits from it because, like I was saying, I told you, I liked playing the Gears games. I never loved them, and I never loved them because of the whole downing system. I was never a fan of douchebags on my team running around stealing my kills for no reason. I was
Backpackers.
Yeah, exactly. And and this is something I did. I actually did this. So if I did this to you, I'm very sorry. If someone stole my kill or chainsawed me, that's a whole different situation. If someone stole my kill, I would stop my game. I would go onto their profile. I would file a complaint. I would block them, and then I would send them an angry message. I'm not kidding.
Joe.
God, Joe's an asshole.
It pissed me off beyond belief. And like I'm so like to me I'm like kind of happy that that's gone because to me it just infuriated me and I don't do it to people that chainsaw me anymore.
When
I
people
moved
do
past
that to me,
stage
I'm
in my
just like,
life.
oh, okay, well, fuck you, and
No,
then I move on from it. But
When
you
people
take
do
it
that
to
to
a
me,
whole
I
new
yell.
level.
I yell at the top of my lungs.
But I yelled while I was doing it. I was like, fuck this motherfucker. Like I was just going nuts
Now,
on people.
here's the thing with Gears of War multiplayer, because I've actually never played Gears of War multiplayer. I know of it, and I played a little bit, but I've never actually like really.
Because you just
played it
recently got
myself.
live.
Yeah. The chainsawing, is that really a big issue in multiplayer?
No, not at all.
Like,
Well, the thing with
in
the
the first
chainsawing
game.
was like you'd get sucked. In the first game, it was like a vacuum. You'd kind of get into this small area where you would just, as soon as you hit that barrier, you'd get sucked right in. And it was fucking infuriating. And I'll never forget, I went back to Gears 2. This is before Gears 3 came out. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start getting pumped for Gears 3. I put in the disc. The first thing
We
I
were
do-
talking about this the other night. I'm not even kidding.
First thing I'm if I get chainsawed, I'm gonna leave. The first thing I do, I get fucking chainsawed in the first 10 fucking seconds of this map. I threw the disc like into the somewhere.
The centipede probably got him.
Oh god, the
family.
centipede.
Now,
brought
something
it
I
back.
do in Judgment is I start off with the Nasher because that's
what you do.
That's
when
how you play Gears of
You
War.
spawn with the Lancer, but you quickly switch
Well,
to your
no,
Nasher.
No, in this one,
You just spawn with the Nasher.
remember how you played it online at the store? Remember you pick which starting weapon. You can pick the Lancer or the
Oh
Nasher.
shit! Yeah, you're
so
right.
you pick it. So I have it set up so I get frag grenade and I get the Nasher.
Yeah.
If I happen to kill someone or that you find a Lancer on the ground,
Yeah.
I pick up the Lancer, and as long as I'm alive, I have it. I make it my sole purpose to chainsaw one person.
You're a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I know. I chased this one.
You're-
I'm saying girl because she's playing as Alex, who's a female character,
Uh-huh.
and I chased her the entire time around this map. She had no idea I was behind her, but I was just running. She was running.
Joe, so you're for violence against women?
Exactly. Well,
Did you get an achievement called
Hey.
Bros Before Hoes because of this?
Hey, in my defense, I play as Alex too. So,
You're still a piece of shit.
anyways, I chased her all across, and then she took cover on the wall, and like I took cover because I didn't know if because she kept like flip flopping. And then, like, she stopped and she was like started shooting at one of my teammates. So I just revved up the chainsaw, ran up the stairs, and
It's satisfying, right? Like,
I was
it
just
pisses
like-
people off.
I was
but
like-
it's so
I was
satisfying.
like, yeah, that's the stuff. And then I put then I put it away, and then I take out my shotgun and I continue playing. I only do it once. That's my thing. 'Cause
After Joe went on this like homicidal rampage,
I can stop at any time, I swear. But it's just something I like to do. Oh, another thing you can't do, you can't stick grenades into the wall anymore.
You can't.
why?
It's kind of a good thing.
Because you can spawn with them. That's probably a good thing.
Because remember, I think it was Gears 2 where the smoke grenade would knock people on the ground.
And you'd be on the you know
Yeah.
the thing was worse on the day one or whatever it was called. There's the
Yeah.
stairs. You plant it by the stairs. You take 30 fucking minutes falling down the stairs.
And then the people run up to you with their
Yep.
shotguns.
and they blow your fucking ass off.
Yeah, that like so sticking grenades is out.
Yeah, especially if you can spawn with frag grenades because you used to have to pick them up in the
Yeah.
map. Which there's so many changes that I don't think are for the better.
Well, no one really. Only time I've seen people throw grenades is if like a team is camping in a singular room and your teammates are like, "All right, we know what to do now."
We know what to
just
do.
to try and lure them out.
But-
And even sometimes that doesn't work because the grenades are so. If you quick throw it, you have no control of where it goes.
Yeah.
If you take too much time to aim it, you're dead.
Oh,
I
it'll
like-
explode.
No. I mean, people will shoot you.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like that in Judgment, though. I love the fact that I
can
can
quick throw?
That I can quick
Do
throw.
they
That-
stick to people when you
Yeah,
toss them? Okay,
if you
yeah.
I
have-
haven't-
if sometimes it's like I hear the beep and like I didn't see it. It just I was like,
I
"Damn it."
haven't touched multiplayer yet, but I know in campaign, especially in campaign, it was extreme. That's probably one of the most useful things. Was
Yeah,
being
was
able
the-
to.
just
tossing
whipping it
them.
out.
Yeah,
and
with
that's the
quick
thing. Like,
throw
if you're not,
grenades.
what's really fun, it kind of adds a dynamic, like jumping around. Because one of the things in Gears is to do like these shotgun battles with people.
Yeah, that's like a
and
staple of
and
Gears
what
of War.
kind of like throws a little twist in it is like the guy throws a grenade at you, like crap, and then you like dodging around, and then as you're dodging his grenade, he tries to take a shot at you, then you throw your grenade, just instinctively try and be like, oh yeah, I have one too, and just I feel like I don't know, I really love this multiplayer. I loved it enough to go trade in games to be able to buy this again. Like again, I've put in like almost I want to say close to $100 into Gears of War Judgment.
That's dedication.
Yeah, I really do love it. I don't know. It changed my
View.
I don't know why. I absolutely fell in love with it. I think it's so much fun to play. I get pissed off, but I don't get. And I think I like it because I'm actually good at it. I'll go
Yeah.
I'll get like 10 or 11 kills a game.
That's why I love to hate Killzone because I suck at it, but it's a great.
Killzone's 3's
No.
multiplayer is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just I'm not good at it, so I hate it.
Yeah, if
You know-
like, if you're not good at something, you're not gonna like it as much.
It's
You know
like
what,
it's like
though?
Metal Gear 2. It's like I have to play it on easy because otherwise I'll rip my hair out and I'll spend 3 weeks trying to beat one chapter.
But you get the easy gun.
Yeah, so it's kind of worth it.
But you know what? Like, even if you're playing a game where you're bad at the multiplayer, the minute it clicks, it really clicks.
Yeah, you get on this like this roll and then
That's what when I had Killzone 3. That's actually what happened to me. Was I was bad at it first, and then like after like 3 or 4 matches, like something just clicked, and I was suddenly getting like top ranks in the.
No, that was one of those games where I loved using the sharpshooter and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Actually, I love that idea of like the light guns. I always have. I love Time Crisis. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get into that. It's a whole nother conversation about
Yeah.
Sony's hiccup.
Well,
with
it somewhat relates to Gears. Remember when there was that rumored Gears Connect game?
Gears
wow.
Exile. That was going to be the name of it, and it's rumored it was canned or postponed, or
Probably for the better.
Probably both.
I wouldn't be surprised if we still see one. I really won't be if next generation.
Launch title: Gears of War Connect 720.
The
people would eat it up though.
Yeah, they would eat it
the
up.
anti-video
Would eat that
game
up.
violence people have a field day with that.
Yeah.
You could chainsaw people in this game and pretend to really do it.
It's offensive towards everybody.
The children are playing it, which, I wish I could say, oh, it's a rated M game. Children
Until I
aren't
see
playing it,
until I
but
see
they
yeah,
are.
right.
Until I see a video on YouTube where a child is chainsawing another child, going, "I learned this from Gears of War Exile on Connect." That's like that will be the time. That's when
I like what Tom just said though. He's like, there'll be hundreds of children playing it, and even though I love that these children are playing a rated M game. It's like, so wait, you're telling me that if I don't read the box on the thing, I'm responsible as an adult and parent?
No, the government is.
Yeah, right.
One quick thing about the Gears of War is there's a lot of actually, not I won't call them microtransactions because they're not that micro. They're transactions,
Oh, God.
and it's all
Joe, you just brought the game from, up
well,
to,
you don't have
like,
to even.
it's kind of slightly
You
down.
don't even
for me.
have to touch them though. It's all skins.
Okay,
That's all it is.
that was in Gears 3 they
Alright,
did
Yeah.
that.
As long as it's not like
No, you don't-
XP or
No,
No,
something.
it's like gun weapon skins. It's nothing
Okay, alright.
special
It's
at all.
skins. I might have bought two. I
They're
had-
probably rainbow and
It's
unicorn
okay.
colors.
No, I look straight up out of Mass Effect. My character
Yeah.
That's
looks
cool.
straight up like a Mass Effect character, and that's why I love it.
That's cool.
Like in red or blue, because you're color coded based on what team
It
you
looks
play on
like
in
Fem.
Team Deathmatch.
Does it look like FemShep?
Them ship.
Kind of, because she has the red hair too, so kind of like the generic one. But it's just something I heard someone making it stink about it. I was like, ugh, like you hurt my brain. Just shut up.
Yeah.
It's not an issue.
All
Like, if
right,
it was
as
like-
long as it's only skins and
yeah,
costumes.
it's
Yeah.
not nearly as big as an issue as I haven't heard people make. Well, one person made it stink out. I was like, no. I was like, no.
It's just weapon skins. Like,
yeah, I was like, whatever.
I-
But then also you get prize boxes by certain reaching milestones, and you can unlock some of the skins.
Actually, do you want to say something about microtransactions? Really quick. I was on an IGN message board, and I wrote. There was a big article, a big fuss. It was when the guy from EA said, "Okay, microtransactions are going to be in every game going forward," and everyone's like, "No." And I think I wrote something. It was like, all right, I kind of accept that microtransactions, as much as they suck, are a part of the gaming industry now, and especially going into the next generation consoles, I think they're going to play a large role. And it's because, video games are getting more expensive to make and used games are hurting the market. So yeah, they suck, but I get it. And when I commented that, I got a lot of hate. I got downvoted, people call me a tool of the industry.
It's actually this is a big topic that I'd like to get to on another episode, because this microtransactions in itself, like what they are now, like how they started, what they are, and the future of them in gaming, is a very complex and conversation that I feel like will be a good one to have. But shut up, Tom. We're not talking about that right now.
Sorry, Joe. I just want to speak my mind.
You don't get to speak your mind in my house.
Okay.
Anyways, so that's all about Gears. In our next segment, we're going to be touching on the Nextbox. R word. We'll get into it in the next segment. So stick around after the break.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the nice break. And we're here to talk about the Nextbox, which we've all been calling whatever Microsoft is coming out with next.
Oh God, just announce it.
Yeah,
like I'm.
it's a
Nope,
long
they
time
can't do
coming.
that.
Why would that happen? Why can't they just?
It's
just,
so frustrating too. Like when you're listening to developers talk about a game that's coming out next gen, like Assassin's Creed 4 or Watch Dogs, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's coming to PS4 and all future next gen consoles. We can't officially say, the next Xbox. We'll get sued."
Yeah, and it's just like, and it's kind of before we jump into the issue that came up this week, because this is also an issue for him. I know it won't be a problem, but it's something like when you first hear about Assassin's Creed 4 or Watch Dogs, and if you're looking to it solely for next generation, and you just keep hearing PS4, PS4,
Yeah.
PS4, PS4,
Microsoft's
PS4,
kind of losing out on that.
like you're losing. I mean, obviously Microsoft is in a very stable area where they're going to announce, and people in a few months it won't be an issue because everyone will be talking about Nextbox and PS4, so it's not going to be one of those issues. But I feel like right now it's kind of not hurting them in the long run, but like in the short term right now hurting them because everyone's saying PS4.
Nobody's
PS4.
thinking about
Yeah, they have
and
no
you can
attention
find
paid to them right
concrete
now.
details on the PS4. So you look up online and you'll find ridiculous rumors
Yeah.
about the next box.
Microsoft needs to say something next month, or I mean, they could wait till E3, but I feel like by that time they're giving Sony way too much of the
Yeah,
spotlight.
definitely.
And then it's like, now this is one thing that, like I said, real quick. At E3, Sony will probably show the system, show the price, probably how they did what they did for the Vita at the E3 where they officially like revealed the pricing and the name and games and stuff. I feel like that's what Sony will be doing at this one, showing the price, showing a release date, showing what the system looks like, showing the games, confirming launch titles. And like Xbox, now maybe PS4's both conferences are going to be amazing this year just because they're both going to be talking about next gen. But then Microsoft's could be like really jam packed where you see these demos, like not demos at the time. It should be like if they announce at E3, you see the system, you see the price, you should see the launch date, you should see and all these games. Like it might be too much.
They're
just
cramming
for that
like
2 hour period, and it's 2 hours sounds like a lot of time to get all this information
it's
out.
not.
But the same, yeah. Like you
Sony
just said.
needed 2 hours to really fully explain what the PS4 was, and now Microsoft has to explain what their new system is. Show it.
Show
Show
the
the price
specs,
point.
too.
Show the specs. Show what games are coming out, and they have to do that in a span of 2 hours. Sony was intelligent in kind of spacing it out. Giving themselves time to plan what they were going to do.
Also, that hype they're going to be building between that announcement and E3.
Yeah, and Microsoft will definitely have an event beforehand. There's no doubt in my mind.
I hope so, because if they wait till E3,
There's a rumor is April 26th. For some reason, April 26th got into people's minds. But anyways, but if they don't announce, you get stupid rumors like this. And this rumor caused a lot of controversy on.
It was
on
so
the-
I was
controversial
pissed. I
that
even
Joe
tweeted
printed
about
it
it.
out.
Yeah. So the article I'm going to be getting the details from is from Game Informer. It says rumor next Xbox will require that games be installed on hard drive. That's not really.
That's not that stupid.
That's
I
not
mean,
bad.
keep
I
up.
install most of my games anyway.
Although, I mean, if you're giving us
If
a
they require
well,
it.
no, I guess the Blu-ray disc is so big, the load time is
Mm.
crazy, so it makes sense.
So it says, according to a report based on the leaked Xbox development documents published on the website The Verge, users will be required to install disc-based games on the next Xbox's hard drive.
Okay, yeah.
All right. The Verge report is based on leaked documents that were published on VGLeaks.com, which is apparently where all this crap comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's a place where you go to leak information.
Sort of like WikiLeaks.
Okay, that's governmental though.
I was kidding.
Want to talk
Well, I
about
guess,
want
like-
to talk about politics?
Not really.
And it says in the documentation sent out to developers, Microsoft states Durango, which in case people don't know is the code name Microsoft has been using.
Similar to Dolphin for the GameCube.
It has been confirmed that Durango is the code name. Console will have a Blu-ray disc drive, which is a plus.
Very exciting, actually.
Disc media will be used for distribution, also a plus.
Good.
Hopefully, also download day one. Hopefully, they support that. It says, but during gameplay, games will not use content from the optical disc. An installation system is being designed that will allow games to begin playing while the game is being installed on the hard drive, rather than waiting until installation is complete.
So this
Okay, another
kind
hoop
of,
for developers to jump through.
This kind of confirms to me that what you were talking about before about Microsoft blocking out used games will come to fruition.
You are jumping ahead on the article, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking. My
The next line says another part of the documentation says that Durango will always maintain a network connection, so that the console software and games are always current.
If you couldn't hear that, it was a sigh of
All of a sigh of disrelief.
No,
yes.
I sighed because it's 2 weeks before the PS4 event. The same rumor came out of PlayStation 4.
And it happened.
So
to a point,
Yeah.
you can play the PS4 completely offline, but you benefit from always being connected.
Mm-hmm.
So for people like us, we'll always be connected on it. That's not going to be an issue. But for people in
people
bumfuck
in like
Kentucky,
Missouri,
like bumfuck Kentucky, they can't. They like I mean they like if you don't have a really good internet connection, it could be a downer. But of course, most of their money comes from online services anyway. So it's it makes sense to me. But at the same time, I feel like it just pisses off too many people.
Oh, I
The
agree.
idea of it is just
Yeah.
retarded. It feels like
It's gonna be like you're going to well, because again, this would allow them to block out.
Oh
used
my
games.
God.
What?
So I never read the last line. No, I'm going to complete reading this, and then we're all going to shut up because it's stupid we're even having this conversation. All right. So, God, this is dumb. Both these facts are leading to further speculation about the possibility that the next Xbox will have always-on DRM and could potentially lock out used games from being used on the system, something that the industry analyst Michael Pachter doesn't think will happen.
I hate that guy.
I like Michael Pachter.
I hate that guy. I think he's an asshole.
He says some things that are so stupid.
Exactly.
I don't understand why he's being
I don't
paid
think
the
he-
6 figures he's getting paid for. But then other times, like saying that makes sense. Saying that games are going to get bumped up $10, which due to inflation would actually make sense to technically be the same price.
I would
That
not
makes
pay
sense to me.
$70.
But then
for a
games
game.
would just drop quicker in price. Like you would see Halo 5 would come out and it would start at 70, and then within the first month it would probably be at 50 or 40.
Can you imagine paying $70 for your video game?
Depends on the game.
Well, it's funny. I actually, if you even notice now,
Halo 5, yes.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
new games that are coming out, they're dropping in price much faster than they ever used
I
to.
bought Crisis 3, like I said before in the earlier segment. It was 40. It was marked like the box next to it was marked 40, like 2 weeks after.
And if
it
you
come
go to
out.
most places, even still, like it's not even a sale. Halo 4 is $40 in most places.
Anyway, so here's the very last line, because this is the line I was talking about. Oh, one thing that's important to note, these documents are over a year old, and it's possible that Microsoft's plans for the systems could have changed.
I'm sure they
doubt
did
it.
once I saw Sony's press conference.
I'm sure it did, like when this first rumor launched a few months ago and people backlashed, they were like, oh, crap. That just made me, I threw the paper. I know. Why is this being brought up? It's a year old.
It's probably gonna happen.
It's
Charlie's
not going
putting
to
on his
happen
leather
at all.
jacket to look fly for the podcast.
And it's not going to happen because first of all, PS4 wins. Like
Definitely.
in this console
Yeah.
race, PS4 would win.
Microsoft is
They
essentially
just handed
bending,
the torch
They are bending over the table and letting Sony have their way with them.
metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Like PS4 would just win completely. Now let's go in theory. Now the reason it would win is because people would then go to GameStop to go purchase these systems, and they would ask the game retail, "Oh, which one's better?" Because let's say they're both the same price at $400.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So say they're both the same price, and you ask someone from GameStop, they're going to be told, "Push the PS4 because we can
Sell them used
sell
games.
used games on that.
we could sell used games." So they're going to tell the people, "Well, you always got to be connected online. You can't play used games on it. So if you buy an Xbox or an Xbox game, we can't
They
accept
probably
it
won't
back."
even do that. They probably won't even bring up the Xbox. They'll just be like, "Oh, here's the PS4."
Yeah. Well, someone asks. I mean, like, what's the
Okay.
difference?
And Microsoft games will get like a small little section the size of the Vita section is
Yeah.
currently at GameStop.
I mean, it pisses off the consumers. It pisses off the retailers, and it probably I don't see the financial gain from it at all. Like, so I feel like your stockholders will get mad because you're losing technically this race that they have won in America, at least by a landslide.
Also, when you have parents or people who are uneducated about the industry, like we know what we're doing, we know what we're talking about, but you have people going to GameStop, like parents who don't know what they're talking about. They don't really know much about the video games industry. Of course, the system that supports used games is going to get the push from the salespeople.
Because
There.
they just see it on the shelf as cheaper. They're like, "Oh, I don't see the difference." And it's really not a
Exactly.
big difference, but
I feel safer buying new games.
Yeah,
I hate buying.
I
used
mean,
games.
I buy new games anyway, but at the same time, this is going to have, like Joe said, it's going to have those salespeople pushing the uneducated parents and whatnot towards the PlayStation.
yeah, it's just something to me. It makes no sense. Like, to me, it's just so stupid to do. Definitely, I think this generation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in the future generation. Once everything starts to become download, like once it gets more and more that way.
Then used games will be gone anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it's something that's going to weed itself out of the. I don't understand why you have to force it out if it's something that within the next. Now it sounds like a long time, but within the next 10 years, maybe when the new console comes out, it's going to be out. Like it's going to be an out of date thing to play used games. 'Cause
Yeah.
presumably by the end of this generation, they'll be pushing digital downloads so much.
Yeah.
That,
Probably physical disc will probably be obsolete.
I don't know. They were saying that about the end
About
of
the
this
floppy disk?
generation. No,
But people had the expectation. People know, like right now, you can do with for some reason you can do with music, movies, and whatever books even. but yet some reason and I'm the same
Games
way.
are a lot more. Oh, that's a lot more data to get into a.
Well, I mean, your typical HD movies, like an hour, like a 45-minute movie is like almost like in 1080p is almost like 4 gigs. But standard video game is like
That's
5 to 8.
Exactly.
So-
That's like an hour and 45-minute movie as compared to a
Yeah, but you can
12
download
to
an
16
You
hour
can download
HD
that
video
5
game.
gigs around here in like 30 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe.
I have my stuff connected wired, because I'm in the room right next to the router, and
Oh,
it
yeah,
downloads.
mine's wired,
It
too.
downloads like really fast.
Mine's all wireless and it still downloads really fast.
like even wireless, it downloads fast. But I know there's definitely, especially on the PS3, there's a bump in.
Like you get like every basic cable company will give you like a theoretical throughput of like 15 megabits a second, and you'll probably get 2, and that's still fast enough to download like a 5 gig file in like maybe an hour.
Well, when I
Little
had
less.
when I had my PS3, I know downloads took forever on that. And playing on my Xbox is now wired, connected to my Ethernet port. And Ethernet port, that makes sense?
Ethernet port.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the wire going. Yeah, it's plugged in.
All right, yeah. So it's connected. It is so much faster than my PlayStation, which was wired.
Yeah, hardwired is
Even my-
always faster.
Even my PlayStation hardwired is slower than my Xbox wirelessly. It's just like, why are you so slow? Like it's something Microsoft just figured out and placed. It's just because Sony didn't
Well,
think.
Microsoft's computer company. So.
Also,
Because-
Sony didn't think
because
that online was
XMB
going to be a thing.
yeah.
That's stupid.
Well,
That's-
Sony's a computer company too, but I just think Microsoft's been doing it for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also it's because XMB. That's just the cause of all Sony's
I
problems.
thought the cross media bar was cool. I loved it on the PSP. I thought it was so cool.
I didn't like it on PS3. It kind of felt like a hassle
said
to get
PSP.
to where well, I know, but I'm talking
okay,
Oh,
about
they
yeah.
PS3.
totally made the new Xbox dashboard completely easy to.
Oh no, I'm not
find
saying
your
it's any
crap.
better.
They made it easy to
But
find advertisements.
I didn't
Yeah.
like XMB.
I totally miss, and I wish you could put it on there. The original
the blades.
blades. Yeah, I
I
love
liked
that.
the
Right.
blades. That was That was cool.
That was
looking.
so convenient.
I loved it when it was like that. It was
It was so busy though. It was really weird looking.
Yeah, but like I don't like even the new Windows 8 looking
Well,
dashboard. I don't like it.
I'm gonna bring this up now. How likely do you think it's gonna be that this is just gonna run modified Windows 8 and it's just gonna have the Metro UI and little? It already is almost. It's really
think it's
close to
very
Windows
likely.
8. It's probably going to.
I think Microsoft like they want to do what Apple's doing and have this unified,
ecosystem.
yeah.
And that's their
See,
problem.
it doesn't like you even said this. I think yesterday you said it works perfect on a phone, okay on a tablet,
And, like, crap
bad-
on a
bad on a
computer.
computer. If they can somehow figure out how to get someone really really smart and say, all right, figure out how to make this work on a video game system with a controller.
Yeah.
Like if they can make it work well, then cool. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's awesome.
But this is an Xbox. It's not a computer. And the point I'm trying to make is that if they want to sell me Xbox Music 2, sell it to me on a phone, not on my game console. Sell it to me on a separate device. Make another device. Make a Microsoft TV, because that's what they'll probably just do, like Apple TV. They'll put this Windows 8 crap on it, and then give me my Xbox that'll play my games and not Xbox Music 2.
Well, maybe to the dismay of us and many gamers, Microsoft is branching out, which I know we would initially look down on, like, oh, they're losing sight of the gamer, but I think this might be a good thing for them. This is going to boost sales, obviously, but at the same time, it's also going to push game consoles more so into the mainstream media. And Joe, you made an excellent point yesterday about like Microsoft and their IPs. Like people complain that, maybe they're losing focus of gaming because they don't have a lot of IPs. But, like you said, they have 3 extremely successful IPs that sell as much as like all of Sony's IPs together.
Yeah,
Would
I'll say
sell.
what I said yesterday.
And I don't think they need to be completely focused on the gamer because they had that. They had the gamer in their crosshair. And now they can also, they can work with the gamer, but they could also focus on the family.
I'll just say what I said, and the only reason I know this for a fact, early 2011, on Podcast Beyond, which is an IGN podcast, Greg Miller made a bet with someone. The guy made a bet on that Gears of War 3 would outsell every Sony exclusive that came out that year.
It would not.
No, that it would.
Okay.
Greg Miller was the one that said it would.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant.
So then I said it differently yesterday. I said
Yeah.
it from the other way around. So come the end of the year, and all the numbers are out. Uncharted 3 came out that year. Killzone 3 came out that year. Infamous 2 came out that year. And a bunch of other, smaller
Did
stuff.
Big Planet 2 come out in 2011?
No, that was 2010.
Oh, okay.
And so at the end of the year, Greg Miller was like, because someone wrote into the podcast, was like, oh, did you lose the bet or whatever? And he shamefully admitted that he had lost the bet, that Gears of War 3 outsold all those games. And there was more than just those 3 collectively. SOCOM 4 was another one that was involved.
Oh, wow, yeah, that was huge.
No one
bought SOCOM 4.
I thought
That-
SOCOM was a huge...
SOCOM 4 came out. The very next day, PSN went down.
Oh, okay,
So
that sucks.
if you think about it like that, yeah. That MotorStorm game came out.
Mm-hmm. Apocalypse.
Yeah, and that got pushed back to this. I mean, Sony. In the beginning of 2011, it finally looked like Sony, from Sony's perspective, like we have this in the bag. Like we have an exclusive launching every month. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, all those exclusives couldn't match Gears of War.
No, it had nowhere near it. And they have 2 games that sell 8 million plus units, and that's God of War and that's Gran Turismo. It's not Uncharted. It's not Infamous. It's not Infamous. Lucky if it hits 1 million. And that's not a joke either. Killzone, obviously, it sells well, but nothing like Halo and Gears and Forza and Fable, and they all sell millions and millions and millions.
Fable sells. I don't think Fable sells millions.
The original 2 sold really well.
I used to complain that Microsoft didn't have enough IPs until I realized the numbers.
It was really until Joe made that point yesterday. The point he just reiterated, that I realized that they don't need
that if you look at these numbers, you look at 13 versus 5, and that's Sony versus Microsoft IPs, and you realize, well, the weight behind 5 IPs is like 1,000-fold what 13 is.
Exactly.
And when you put that into perspective, it's like, okay, well, now it makes sense that they only have 5 IPs exclusive.
I think Sony has a chance this generation, though, to especially with their new marketing team, they have a chance to really push these series into the mainstream.
They have a marketing team.
But anyway, they can really push these series into the mainstream. Like, they can get Killzone into the homes of people who have never played a Killzone game. They can get people, like, a recent rumor just came out, and it's that Infamous Second Son is going to be a launch game. If this new marketing team can really market Infamous as, hey, look, this is the first next-gen superhero game, you want this, and it has the chance to sell really well and get Infamous, turn that into a household name.
But here's something else. Like, say Microsoft comes out, and we might ridicule them for doing this. But say they come out, they announce their console this fall,
and they spend 45 minutes talking about Xbox Music too.
No, not that. I'm talking about game specific. They come out and they announce one game, like one. Not okay. That sounds ridiculous. They announce they announce one exclusive coming out for this fall, and of course you have Watch Dogs, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and anything else that comes out this fall. But they only have one exclusive. And then Sony has, let's say 3. They have Killzone, Infamous, and something else. Knack. Let's just say Knack. Or Drive Club. Let's say Drive Club.
So that's 4.
No, I'm losing Knack thing.
Okay.
Knack's going to be downloadable. So you're going to have these 3 games, supposedly, and then you're going to have
supposedly,
I'm assuming, and then you're going to have this one. Let's call it Halo Gears of War. Halo of War. Let's call it Halo of War
3.
And it's just Halo of War 5.
How?
What?
How
what?
Halo of War.
Oh my God!
I was like, I tell him what he's talking about, but I kind of want to see how long this will go for.
And then it comes out, and you buy an Xbox. Of course, you're going to buy that game because it's their exclusive game.
Because HAL is the greatest Xbox.
HAL 5. HAL 5 is their greatest, is the only exclusive. So, of course, when you buy your Xbox, you're going to buy that. When you buy the PS4, it's like, wait a minute.
Which one?
It's like there's Killzone, there's Infamous, and there's Drive Club. Well, I'm not really into racing games, so I'm going to put Drive Club away. Oh, it's between Killzone and Infamous. Well, I really do like first-person shooters. I mean, I really do like... I really,
superpowers
I really do like these
crap like that.
Superhuman type of game. It's like, which one do I do? And then say you pick Killzone. You buy Killzone for $60. By the time you get to Infamous, Infamous might be only 40 or 30, or you might pick it up used to the point where it doesn't matter about the sale.
That point is actually so fantastic and valid.
Joe, that's another good point.
I feel smart.
That makes sense why one of their IPs will outsell 3 of theirs, because you only have one to choose.
And then and then you had the luxury of I'm buying this one exclusive, so alongside that I'm gonna get, I don't know, Assassin's Creed or COD.
Yeah.
You have it. I feel like they might narrow you down more, but they narrow you down more because then it kind of is because when an Xbox, think about this also. PS4 and PS3 now launches all these exclusives all year long. Like they had 3 exclusives. They had Ni no Kuni. I'm sorry. They had Sly Cooper, and they had God of War Ascension. And they have more. They have The Last of Us Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
Like they have to split up their marketing time between all these games, and Microsoft is just like, beginning of the year, Gears of War. Like that's all we're gonna focus on, and you will buy it because it's Gears of War.
And you will buy it.
And it's like you have an Xbox, so that's what you're excited for.
Exactly.
If you have a PS3, you're like, well, I really like JRPGs. Oh, I really like old Sly Cooper. Oh my god, I really love God of War. It's like that same mentality, even deeper into a system where you're kind of like, what do I want to spend
can't get
my
all
money
of
on?
them, yeah.
But if you have one exclusive launch in the first half of the year and the second half of the year, then you're kind of forcing them to.
It's smart, but
to
I
get
feel like
excited about this
for
one
the
thing.
gamer, like for what we would define as the gamer, I feel like, and I almost like, just because there's been so many great Sony games this year, there have been so many great PlayStation games this year. I almost regret
So many
not
great
having-
PlayStations.
Yeah, I almost forget not having a PS3 anymore. I would say that Sony, even though they may not sell as well as Microsoft, Sony seems like the system for the gamer.
Yeah, and that's what they're marketing
Like-
the PS4 as. And I really do think that the Xbox is going to come out and they're gonna try and market it towards them more. But if they're able to pull this off, like what they want this thing to be, what they want this one console,
They want it to be a multimedia
They want it,
box.
I even said this the other day. They want it to be the system. They want it to be the box that the teenage kid or 20-year-old can play their games on, like during the day or at night. And then they want it to be the console, the box where the parents or the grandparents can sit down and watch their favorite movie or favorite TV show without turning on the cable box, by subscribing to these Netflix or Hulu or HBO Go.
It's kind of scary that a couple of
Grandparents
grandparents would buy an
Grandparents will not know
Xbox.
how to use it.
Yeah.
They'll market
But
to
they'll
them,
know
but
how
they'll
to
be
use
like,
the
But what
Connect.
if their grandson goes like what if they move, like a grandparent move and their grandson's like, you can buy this one box and it literally would do everything for you. Like you can watch all your current shows, you can watch all the current not current movies, but you can watch older movies. They have HBO Go, which is talking about doing a different type of subscription based thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if they can pull this off, I feel like I can't remember exactly what I said yesterday. Like hardcore gamers like to pretend they dictate what sells,
But they
we
don't care.
don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I said, I use this analogy. The Xbox and the GameCube sold like 25 million. The PS2 sold 120 million by the end of the generation. The reason it sold 120 million the games were a strong part of it, but it was because it was the cheapest DVD player out there.
Mm-hmm.
So families bought it, kids took advantage of it by using their games. And then it just became so cheap near the end of the generation that it just kept selling and selling and selling.
The mainstream market and the gamers are looking into very different directions, but as much as it may suck for us, it's where the mainstream market is going to go that we are going to have to follow.
And it's like the PS2 did it with the DVD player. The PS3 attempted to do it with the Blu-ray player.
Didn't catch on.
It was too early. It was what not people wanted. Xbox Live has shown that people want this digital distribution of movies and music and TV shows and up to like newer stuff. That I feel that's the way they're going to go. So Sony's not going to focus on this. To us, it's going to be amazing because it's like, look at all these games, and it's going to be awesome. But then it's like, what if it doesn't sell? Like, what if it sells like 5 million units by the end of 2014 or what year is it? Yeah, 2013.
Then
So
Sony goes out of business.
they wouldn't go out of business, but I mean, and then you have the Xbox because it does all this other crap, and they advertise that it does all this crap. Of course, the PS4 will also do it, but the fact that Microsoft's able to get it out to the people, like, this does everything.
And then
Everything you want to do on it, this can do.
the Wii U will be secretly collecting just stacks and stacks of money, and Sony's like building will be consumed by a tidal wave of money written by Shigeru Miyamoto on a surfboard.
And I feel like Microsoft's like trying to breach this sector where if they're able to breach it, if they can somehow, like, they're trying to capture everyone, and this could implode on them, and it could turn out badly.
I think Apple will see to that.
Yeah.
Will be, like they'll then be competing with Sony, Nintendo, just for the sake of the video game part.
Yeah.
They'll be competing with Nintendo and Sony, and then on this other front of the multimedia distribution, they'll be
They're gonna be dealing
fighting with Apple and their renowned service
Yeah.
for music, movies, and TV shows.
And of course, I don't think they'll ever beat Apple, but Microsoft, I think, will always be in second in that category.
Yeah.
But I think if second is still making you millions of dollars, I don't think second's a bad place to
not
be.
even
exactly.
So
Second is also though still losing.
yeah, it is also losing. But if they're able to penetrate this. If it doesn't implode like it easily could, and they kind of find this like nice center of it all, where the gamers are happy getting their two exclusives a year, but those exclusives are awesome and they sell a lot, and then the family members are happy that they can watch all their crap on it. I feel like they can hit this market. They can hit this if they're able to advertise it like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they can hit this equilibrium.
That's the word. That would work.
This equilibrium of just like
This
where
nirvana.
this
is like
of
this
where
is
they
the
want to be.
box.
Like they want this to be the box because they want cable to go away. They want the PS4 to go away.
Everybody wants cable to go away.
Cable can go die. That's
Cable's dead.
It's the cable networks, not like the cable box. It's like cable networks are shitty people to negotiate with.
like how like
Cable's dead. Online distribution.
this
of
is
TV
something
shows
I
is
would
the
love
future.
on my Nextbox. I can choose by myself willingly to pay to get NBC channels, to get NBC content. Like I would pay what $5-10 a month, and I get all the NBC channels. I pay another $5 or $10. I get all the CBS channels. Like as long like for a year, you do it and you renew it every year or whatever, or you just pay like a little bit a month, and like that would weed out like all the garbage that exists on TV.
And I could see it being in almost a Netflix like format where you would have the episodes not airing at certain times, but each episode, like when a new one come out, it would just be like put
Uploaded.
in. Yeah, it'd be uploaded.
Like how I bought the 3rd season of The Walking Dead on iTunes. Every night after it airs, I look at my computer and it's there. It's already done downloading.
That's what it should be. And of course, like the smaller companies, probably like NBC, just because NBC's ratings for their shows are lower than CBS's, Fox's, or ABC's.
Really?
Yeah, they're not
That's
in a very
surprising.
NBC's not in a very good state. They have good quality, but for some reason people don't attract to it. But like AMC, AMC would
be huge.
AMC is almost like HBO on regular TV.
Yeah, it's like the
AMC
free
would be
version.
huge. FX would be huge. Comedy Central would be huge. It's like those channels, and then you have like those stupid little
Nickelodeon.
crime fighting show on X Channel 3, and it's like, no, we're irrelevant. It's like, no, you're not.
Nickelodeon would be huge. You know, Disney Channel.
The sports channels would be huge, like NFL
Yeah.
Network, MLB Network, NHL
Well, aren't
Network.
there already kind of like pay-per-view type things?
You have to buy the
sometimes?
higher packages
Yeah.
for them. But like, I would totally pay for like that's what like I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority, but I would like to pay for what I get.
I wouldn't pay to watch a football game, but I would pay for the season.
Like, or no, they can just get rid of it and just instead of offering that season pass through Dish, just offer it directly through Xbox.
That's
or
what
PS4.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I would pay for.
Like I would easily pay for, and you pay this. I think they have to lower the price. It's a little ridiculous.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was like $250 or something when I
Yeah.
looked into buying it for PS3.
Yeah, it's ridiculously high, but I think it's a future that I want to be in. I want to choose what I want to see and what I get shown when I open up my.
But Joe, you
TV
don't know
network.
what you want to watch, so the government will do it for you.
Oh yeah, it's just such that's what I want, and I know I mentioned this to some people, and they're like, "Oh, you're crazy," and then other people are like, "Yeah, I like that."
And how great would it be for ratings if you were to have like a star system
It would
next
literally
to each channel?
It would
and each
literally
show?
weed out the crappy shows because they would go out of business. They'd go extinct.
And like,
Exactly.
if they're able, to, like, this is what if Microsoft really wanted to be the center of your living room, focusing on this type of grabbing
Well,
this type.
So like we wouldn't have to suffer through like the 35th show about old rugged bearded rednecks doing their job.
Or about like decrepit women from New Jersey buying jewelry and dresses.
And all it takes is one station, one like not like AMC or something, not one that's in like this block of where everyone gets it, but I mean like HBO or Showtime. It will only take one of them to say, you know what, we're not going to deal with your cable companies anymore.
It's never gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I know, and that's the
These
problem.
cable companies are so stubborn. Apple's been trying to negotiate with them for years to do some sort of Apple TV, not like the Apple TV we have now, but like a cable box. Like they want to bring their software, and well, they want a cut of that, obviously, and that's why they won't do it because they don't want to lose any money.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. Like HBO, like HBO runs through. Like if you want HBO, if you want HBO, you pay Cablevision or Verizon Fios, whatever, an extra $15. And an extra $15 goes direct to the HBO. If HBO was to say, you know what, no, if you want our content, you can subscribe directly to us for $15, and we'll provide it to you, or maybe $20, let's say, because maybe they have to pay a fee to Microsoft or Sony, and like they probably pay a fee already going to.
Yeah, they probably do.
So I mean, pay that. Like, don't be as long as Xbox or Microsoft isn't dumb with trying to get this type of information. I think it just takes one, and I think if it works with one, HBO or Showtime, I think it would work with.
Well, HBO Go is supposed to be coming to the Apple TV.
Well, no, you can AirPlay it now.
You can AirPlay it, but I mean to get
like
it,
the actual
they're
app.
actually they've been
Okay.
working on that.
See, so that's something cool, and like I think HBO is expanding so far. It's like I feel like I think they can see like this is where we can go. Like we can break away from this and we can stand on our own and we can be very successful.
I hope so.
So do I.
And that's like, and like it would work like an app, like it does on the iPad. It will be an app what it is now on the Xbox.
You just won't have to sign in through your cable provider.
Yeah, you just sign
Well,
in.
on that list, you probably see like Xbox Live or whatever.
Yeah, and you go and you set it up. How I don't like smarter people can figure that part
You know
out.
how like when you buy a magazine on do any of you subscribe to a magazine on newsstand or whatever?
Game Informer.
Not Game Informer. That's an awful example because you do that subscription externally, but
No.
you can buy 6 months through the App Store, right? HBO Go app, buy that subscription through Apple for 6 months. That's how it would work. You'd sign in through your
Instead
Apple
of
ID.
paying monthly, you could do it
Yeah,
like,
for
6 months or a year.
Well, like Game of Thrones season 3 is like, oh, it's gonna be on for 4 months. I'll subscribe to the 6 month plan.
Yeah.
That's a
For
really good
for
idea.
30, 40, whatever.
Whatever they want to charge, because HBO has shows maybe to some people worth the extra money. Maybe every once in a while I'll do a sale on it or whatever. That's what I want to see though. Like
Honestly, if HBO was structured that way, I would pay a yearly subscription to it.
I think that's my mentality. I would gladly pay for content I think is worth paying for. Like I want to pay you directly. Let me give you money to show you
Take
that
my
I-
money and shut up.
Like,
They can't
I
get
wa-
past the cable
I want to
companies. though.
support you. Like just take it. Like I would be willing to give companies money like directly.
But what's the difference between giving HBO $15 and giving Optimum $15 to give $15 to HBO?
Because I don't want to get all the other bullshit that I get with
Yeah.
all the other bullshit channels.
I don't
like,
care.
So you don't want to have to pay for your cable.
I want
box
to pay
and
for
then-
what I want to see. I don't want to
Yeah.
pay.
You don't want to have to buy your $100 a month cable subscription, or
so
I don't
we
know how
can
much
watch
it is.
just like hours and hours of shit.
And then
TV.
on top of that, have to pay that $15. You'd rather
When
just
I'd
pay
rather
the $15.
$100 worth of stuff that I actually when I pay that $100.
Well, that wasn't the point, but yeah.
You know, I'm just using the same. Like if I pay I pay let's say I pay $100 now for my cable, then an extra 15 or 20 for HBO. That's $120. I'd rather pay $100 of to content that I actually want to see a year.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather pay for the HBO. I'd rather pay for NFL Network than get all these I get NFL Network now. I get HBO now. I get Showtime now. And it's like, yeah, I mean it's the same thing, but I'd rather be paying towards what I want to see. I'd rather show the support of the stuff I like. Like AMC's kind of caught in the middle because they have this high quality shows and content, and yet they're still they're stuck in this
Cable limbo.
yeah, because they have the content of a
HBO type
of an
show.
HBO type show, but they're
Still free on that provider.
they're still free when they
Exactly.
could if they charge like a yearly fee. I would pay for it. There's enough shows that are good enough.
Yeah.
They actually just released a trailer for a new show over the summer that looks pretty cool.
It's frustrating that Verizon Fios, I pay a ridiculous amount of money for it a month. And I flip through the channels and I only watch maybe 4 shows on TV that I actually make time out of my day to go watch. That's sad to me that I pay for this yet I don't use it. That's why I feel like what you said, we should be able to pick what we want and pay for
And
it.
they kind of went that way because there's on Optimum, there's a basic package, a silver package, and a gold package. And then there's yeah, but they're still all shitty channels and I'm paying way too much for it.
I don't want to pay for fucking MTV so that I can flip past Buck Wild or something.
It's just, these are things that are out of our hands, and I don't think Microsoft I think maybe if they make a deal with HBO it could reflect, but it's kind of a fruitless effort.
Yeah, like I said, I just think it's one company that just says
We'll snowball this industry.
Exactly.
we're gonna go our own thing. And I think that one company will disrupt because then you have these other
They'll realize how much money they're
they'll
making.
be and it will be once someone announces numbers, when they see numbers they'll be like, maybe we thought about this the wrong way.
Also, I think it's ridiculous that in 2013, you still have to pay for a plan that includes cable, phone, and internet. That shouldn't be a thing anymore. Your cable and internet should not be directly correlated anymore.
Why not?
It just seems stupid to me.
I'm confused. I mean, I don't know. I have FiOS, so maybe because of FiOS is runs good on both ends.
You get your cable TV, internet, and your phone. What's wrong with?
I feel like you shouldn't have to pay for all three anymore.
Well, you don't.
I
You
feel
can get
like-
them separate.
Yeah, they give you options now to only get.
They just They only advertise that.
Yeah, you still have the option to. Because I don't find myself, as long as I'm living by myself, like after, I just don't have a need for a home phone.
No.
Cell phone is what
Oh, neither do I. No, I don't know anyone who uses a home phone anymore. I'm gonna be honest.
I can literally do everything
Maybe
on
our
my cell phone.
parents.
God, we got really far from
My parents
Yeah,
don't even
that's what I
use
was
our home
saying. It's
phones.
like this is out of our thing. We don't really know, and I
Yeah.
think that's it's going to come down to them deciding what they want to do with this Xbox. If they want it to play games, or if they want it to be the Xbox Music 2 device.
It's gonna be both, and I think for better or worse, that's going to be the way they're going to go.
And I feel like as long as they don't do this always online thing, I think the Xbox will succeed, and I think it will succeed strong. I mean,
I have no doubt they will do well. It's just if they do decide to go with an always online DRM, it's just
They're going to go down the shitter.
It's a factor of how well.
Or that, yeah.
And then the used game thing. If they ban used games, they're dead. I mean, there's no
coming back from that.
Even though
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea,
No, it's
like
not a
I
bad
said
idea, but
before.
it's
on
just too-
paper, but it's too drastic of a measure to actually happen in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I don't like. I really want to see both consoles succeed, or succeed. Yeah.
Oh, so do I. I think we live in a generation now where both, like all three, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, all have amazing first-party content, and I don't think that in this generation you have a place to be jaded and stuck to one console, just because you can get amazing experiences across all three platforms.
And this is something. Someone has said this on another show I listened to, and it actually makes a lot of sense to me. He said there's no reason to have for the next generation to have all three. He said there's absolutely no reason for that. He's actually said this: pick between your Xbox or your PlayStation 4, because no matter what, you're probably only missing out on 3% of all the games that are coming out. He's like, which are going to be exclusive games. He's like, and if you'd rather play your Halo or your Gears, you play Xbox. If you'd rather play your Killzone, your Infamous, or your Uncharted, you pick PlayStation. But you're only missing that like 3%. And it's like, are those 3% of games really worth paying another $400 for a system for?
Not really.
And then he said he plans on getting. He doesn't have a Wii U because the game. But he said he thinks Nintendo is the other console to have, and he thinks Nintendo's Wii U is the other console to have because you're not going to see those. You're going to get like those Nintendo games like exclusively on Nintendo, and those games will be worth it because they're just like Microsoft. When they announce one and they release one,
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. People buy consoles for this, and it's something that.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, so it's an interesting theory. Like I said, I really want to see. It would be nice if all of them succeed, but will they? We don't know.
I hope they do.
In a few years from now, we'll know numbers. Even a year from now, or about a year and a half from now, we'll know numbers, and that's when we'll be able to tell.
I think Nintendo's going to go do their own thing with the Wii U, and they're going to be successful at it because, even if it's off to a rocky start now, it's going to get better. And I think Sony and Microsoft are going to aim for similar things, but they'll be different enough that they can each be successful in their own way.
So that's a wrap. It's close to an hour and a half.
It's a long show.
It's just because this Nextbox is such... Because there's no information on it, we can just speculate for hours about what we want it to be. And it's their own fault. So, we'll have a lot of stuff next week.
Yeah.
If you like us, please subscribe to us, rate us on iTunes, leave a comment, some feedback. We'll take it all. We also have a YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Secret Level Gaming. You can find our Gears of War content there. We'll be uploading Let's Plays. You have Charlie's Bit Trip Let's Plays. We'll be doing a Bioshock unboxing very soon. So, go there. If you like the content, please subscribe. Give us your feedback. And I guess that's all for today, right, guys?
Yep.
See you guys.
All right, see you guys next week.
See ya.
The sea of cowards is one.